Girls Frontline 2 Exilium just keeps on winning. We thought they pulled out all the stops with Klukai, put all their resources into her, and they wouldn't be able to top her. But this next doll is even more extra. I'm Shrike, subscribe for more gacha content, let's dive in. We're talking about the impulsive immolator, pervasive pyromaniac, Vector. Confirmed to be one of the next 3 after Mishtu, where Klukai is all about visuals. The outfit, the hat, the motorcycle, but there's not much going on with her personality. Vector is the opposite. I watched her PV, and at first she appeared like your generic attractive doll, but her personality exploded off the screen. Pun fully intended. She's a firecracker of a character and right up my alley. And rumor has it she's pretty meta, so let's dive into her kit and determine that for ourselves. First off, she's categorized as support, which is strange considering her PV, where she literally sets everything on fire. Which brings me to her element, obviously fire. And she's an SMG user, which the only ones we have of those right now are Cheetah, Suomi, and Papasha, so it's a welcomed addition. Still waiting for a tier 0 handgun user though. Her active skill 1 as a single target fire blast can be a small AoE if the target has a burn related debuff. So already you'll be wanting to pair her up with another burn unit, or even a fully dedicated burn team. Her third segment really fires this skill up though, removing some of the requirements to deal extra damage and changing the debuff she gives them from overburn to overheat ignition, which is much cooler and more explosive. But it's at 3 copies, so I don't expect anyone but big spenders to reach that. Her second skill is another single target attack, and it basically lights the enemy on fire and creates fire tiles as they walk. And they and those within the tiles become weak to burn if they weren't already. An incredibly powerful effect if you're running a full burn team. And especially if you create a bottleneck and force the enemy to come to you through that burn zone. Or you could just use her ultimate, which is a 7 tile burst AoE that can target the ground, and also lights it on fire, creating basically the same effect as her previous skill, but also essentially lighting all of your allies' ammo on fire. When they deal burn damage, that damage is cranked up. Oh yeah, and then she can act again. Pretty broken, but I mean, I wouldn't call this a supportive kit. No more than lighter fluid is supporting a bonfire. Sure, it's technically assistance, but by that definition, DPS is a support role too, because murdering the enemy is assisting. But that's just semantics, who really cares? Finally, her passive. This one is kind of a double-edged blade. On one hand, it makes her immune to all those burn tiles she's throwing around, and it juices up all the burn debuffs on the field. And it increases the number of burn-related support attacks your allies can perform, which is crazy, but then it says, if your Confectance Index is full at the start of your turn, you lose them all, and it buffs your attack by 10%. Now I think that's pretty bad, but maybe I'm just not smart enough to see the value. It seems to me like you want to do everything in your power to not start your turn with a full Confectance Index, because 10% just isn't enough to justify being stuck with a basic attack, especially when all of her other attacks are so friggin' explosive. And I don't often say this, but her weapon, Morning Whisper, is just bonkers powerful. It might even be more useful to get than her first boot, since it increases the damage your allies will do, especially on a burn team and with all her effects on the field. Her first segment, to compare, is for her passive, and it basically just buffs overheat ignition and gives you yet another burn-related support attack allowed. Powerful, yeah, but I think her weapon might be better. Plus, it's super cool looking. When this character comes out, will she be a must-pull though? I think we're entering power creep territory, starting with Klukai. This is the next generation of dolls, and they're all going to be more powerful than what we started with. I mean, just look at Klukai's AoE that can wipe a whole map in one turn. These are meta-defining units, and I don't think Vector will be any different. So yeah, I'm going to say that if you skip Vector, your burn team, or even just your burn units, won't be able to live up to their full potential. You'll be playing with a serious handicap. Plus, she just wants to watch the world burn, and it's our duty as the commander to give her what she wants. But with that being said, I'm gonna fly. I'll see you in the next one. Bye.